Things are getting crazy in Atlanta. I don't know if it's for the better or the worst, but if you've been watching the news, there are so many different changes that happen on July 1st. And in this video, we're going to touch on each of them one by one, checking out some news articles and giving you guys the information firsthand. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Connor Downey, your Atlanta real estate agent. I give you guys brutal truths, brutal realities of today's market. I cover the news that people aren't talking about it, and I keep it straight like no other agent ever will. So stay tuned, like and subscribe to the channel. We are going to cover some very, very important information, whether you live here now or you tend to move very soon. Before we get into the news, let's cover what the housing market's looking like just super quick. Right now, the housing market's kind of competitive. Homes on average receive 2 offers and they sell in around 44 days. Our median sales price is sitting at $434,000. That is up 4.7% since this time last year. The median sales price per square foot is $303 per square foot, which is now up 5.9% since this time last year. All this data is provided to you guys by Redfin. They are rock star. They are a great resource for all of you as individuals to stay educated on today's housing market, whether you're in my state or you're in a different one. So besides that, we are constantly seeing house prices rise. And that gets me into our first important news article this week. We have the Safe at Home Act going into practice. That started July 1st. With house prices being so high, we now have people being forced to rent more than often. And what this new rental act does is it makes sure that home owners maintain a proper premise for their tenants. Previously here in Georgia, a landlord could have mold, have holes in the floor, have a lot of things that put potential risk to your health, and they had no liability. I'm sure some of you watching this video have friends, family members, or even personally experienced very bad living situations in which the landlord had to do nothing. You fought tooth and nail, you thought you were entitled to something, and you weren't. Well, now you are. Officially, as of July 1st, we have the Safe at Home Act, and that is going to do exactly what it says. You have a safe place to call your home, and if those living situations aren't adequate, you can go after your landlord. There will be fines, there will be punishments, there will be reparations. So congratulations, that is super duper important. Whether you're moving here to buy or you're moving here to be an investor or a renter, this is going to be important. This is going to be something you guys need to know. Secondly, we have passed one of the coolest things in recent times. This is the Squatter Reform Act. If you don't follow me on TikTok, you probably should, because over there I talk about things that people just don't hear about. We've had a squatter problem in Atlanta, Georgia for years. This has been an issue that mostly benefited squatters. People could literally move into a home, provide a fake lease, and then they couldn't be removed from the property without proper eviction processes and proceedings. The magistrate courts have been backed up since COVID. This gave people a lot of opportunities to dwell in homes, sell the items out of the homes, and maintain that property as their own for years, putting landlords in a very bad predicament in which often they would have to sell or even be foreclosed on by the bank because they were unable to sell due to the squatters inhabiting the property, and the courthouses were so far behind that there was nothing they could do about it besides lose the property to the banks. These situations happen every single day. People don't know about it, but that is why rental requirements in Atlanta, Georgia are so very high. With this new policy, we may start to see more leniency on rentals, and we may begin to see more people having affordable rentals because landlords in Atlanta do not have to take as much risk. This bill is called the Squatter Reform Act. It's officially protecting property owners versus protecting the rights of squatters, and it's going to do a lot as far as putting people out on the streets. That is not a good thing. While it seems like a good thing for some, more houses will be up for sale, we're going to see more people going on the streets, and as a result, it's going to continue to support our third news article. We have the worst income inequality in all of America here in Atlanta. If you guys didn't hear, that is number one out of 50 states who have a wealth gap. That means our richest people are that much wealthier than our poorest people. And you will see it on the day to day in certain areas like Buckhead, Smyrna, Vinings, where the houses are starting at almost $900,000 and there are homeless people begging for money on the street. You will see this income inequality. The average income of the top 20% residing in certain U.S. cities with a comfortable six-figure range, whereas the bottom 20% for many cities exist in the poverty threshold. This means that in order for people to find out what's going on, we take a look at our top 20%, we look at the lower 20%, and we compare those. How badly and how great are these people doing, right? Atlanta ranked in first as the U.S. city with the most income inequality. The bottom 20% in Atlanta earned an average income of $11,221 as compared to our top 20% earning $324,230. There is massive income inequality here in Atlanta. This resulted in massive homelessness. As our tax rates increased since COVID, we have seen many people on fixed income being put out of their homes. We've seen many people no longer able to afford living in Atlanta. And when people come here and they ask, why are there so many homeless, or why are there people on the corner? It's because we're the next California. And the government needs to do something to change this, and they need to come up with quality housing a lot faster. Some of these churches need to be offering housing for free. They have so much land here in Georgia. They sit back, they take tide, and they don't offer any solutions for tiny homes or outside resources where they can get grants or they can get donations from people in the community to create halfway homes or sustainable living, and they can utilize these spaces, and the government can give grants to do this as well, but they choose not to. And then on top of that, Georgia does not have an open ballot. So what we see is people like myself who come up with brilliant ideas actively have to join political positions in order to sway or influence the things going on in our communities, and this takes a lot of effort. So right now, if you are in Georgia, you need to keep in mind they are passing a lot of great laws, and they are passing a lot of things, but they really benefit the wealthy. They don't benefit the middle class, and they don't benefit the poor. However, they can assist people in situations where their neighborhood has not been able to progress due to people staying and squatting in the properties and have tarnished them and not maintained them, and it has prevented the area from developing. So finally, we will see a lot of change. There's a lot of things going on. The housing market continues to push up because we have sports coming and we have different global venues and all of these kind of things coming to Atlanta. And ultimately, a lot of change that we can expect to see here in the future because there's so much wealth gap and so much inequality and a continuous rise in the value of the properties that you can find here in Atlanta. So if you guys disagree with me and you think that the government's doing everything that they can here to make housing better, then comment down below. But if you guys agree with me and you think that things are not necessarily changing for the better here in Atlanta, feel free to be honest. If you have no choice but to move to Atlanta, whether it's good or it's bad, reach out to me. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to set you up with the best communities possible. I'm going to put you in the community that you want. I'm here to help you influence and change Georgia for the better. So thank you guys always. Again, I'm Connor Downey, your Atlanta real estate agent. Do not hesitate to reach out to me. I will happily sell you guys a home. I will also help anybody living here sell their property for top dollar. That's what we do every single day, making my clients happy. So reach out. Like and subscribe to the channel. Head over to the page to watch home tours or other informational content that makes you guys smarter and superior in the market compared to your friends and family. I appreciate all of you.